Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Dual-Wielder's Writing Debugging, where I break down writing tips and tactics into bite-sized chunks to help you improve your own writing. In this entry, let's unpack protagonists, antagonists, and deuteragonists. So, when your audience gets into your story, unless you're creating something incredibly niche, there is going to be a central character whom they will follow through the narrative. This is your protagonist. The protagonist is the main character of a story. It is through them that the audience will experience the world you've created, and it is based upon their exploits and perspectives that the audience will form a frame of reference for the world. It is especially important in a work that features a setting vastly different from our own for the audience to learn about it organically, rather than having it explained through the narrator or awkward dialogue. This is why it is so common in fantasy, and sometimes science fiction, for the protagonist to be from a farm or other isolated setting. This allows for the audience to find out about the world in a way that is more natural, as the protagonist themselves would have little knowledge of what occurs outside the confines of their remote living space. In Django Unchained, Django himself is the titular protagonist. It is through him that we see the world of the mid-1800s North America. We follow him as he's liberated from slavery and learns how to become a gunslinger to rescue Brumhilda, the woman he's in love with. As Django grows in skill and learns more of the world, so do we as the audience. His growth as the protagonist becomes our vehicle for journeying through the story. On the opposing role, we have the antagonist. The antagonist is the one whose goals are in opposition to the protagonists. Their motive can vary wildly depending on the story, from a philosophical difference to greed, pride, or simply to maintain the status quo. In Django Unchained, the antagonist is Calvin Candy, owner of the Candyland plantation. He is even more brutal with his slaves than what was common at the time, and is the one who owns Brumhilda as a maid. While the rest of those at the plantation are supporting characters to Candy, he is the central antagonist who must be defeated in order for Django to free Brumhilda. Note that the antagonist and protagonist roles do not determine a character's morality. You could craft a story from the villain's perspective, and in so doing, they would be the protagonist, while the hero would become the antagonist. If you frame it properly, then such a thing could be an intriguing tale to partake in, witnessing the acts that both sides take from the point of view of one the audience should not want to succeed, as long as one doesn't attempt to frame the villain as the hero, where many remakes have fallen short in the past decade or so. But the third and final role is one that is much less commonly discussed: the deuteragonist. The deuteragonist is a role that not every story features or needs, but one that can greatly add to a narrative if properly implemented. While the protagonist is the primary character of the story and the one who drives the events, the deuteragonist is the second most featured character, often accompanying the protagonist, as the antagonists seldom remain in the spotlight. The deuteragonist can fulfill any number of roles, such as companion, mentor, guide, or love interest, but they often serve a role of assisting the protagonist in a way that the latter isn't quite equipped to deal with. In Django Unchained, Dr. King Schultz is our deuteragonist. He comes into the tale at the beginning, as he is a bounty hunter who has become aware that Django has information about his current targets that he needs to complete his contract. The two enter a partnership after Schultz kills Django's master, and he teaches Django his ways of being a bounty hunter, and makes an exchange with him that if Django helps him fulfill some contracts, then he too will assist him in freeing Broomhilda. While Schultz isn't the character whom we follow, he is the second character of great importance that is in Django's company, and allows Django to learn and get through scenarios that would be difficult or impossible otherwise, thus making him the deuteragonist of the tale. There even exists the role of Tritagonist, if the narrative features a third character in such a role. So, in summary, the protagonist is the character whom the audience will follow for most of or all of the story, and see the world through their eyes. They are the central character in the conflict of the story and will be the one who drive the events forward. The antagonist is the one whom opposes them, for whatever their reasoning may be, and the deuteragonist is the character who receives the second most role of importance, often assisting the protagonist. But what are some of your favorite protagonists, antagonists, or deuteragonists? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, leave a like on this video if you're so inclined, and subscribe to see more. I would like to thank you for watching, and may you all have a weapon in each hand.